YouTube, what's good? What's going on? Welcome back to another reaction video. This is Billionaire Talk, and I'm Hugh Steph. Today, we're going to talk on this whole 50 Cent and T.I. beef. We're pulling a video from Hello Yassine Extras, who shout out to bro. He's done tremendous work, and he also just hit 100K subs. That's tremendous. Congrats on that new plaque. I know that shit gonna look beautiful on your wall. Pause. Now, this is a video that he put together where he's diving into the details of T.I. and 50 and even T.I.'s son King. And I'm just going to react to it. So I'm not going to extend this intro any longer, but I will say the two favorite buttons of mine that I need y'all to hit is that like and sub button. Go ahead and hit that for me. Let's keep the channel growing because I love doing this shit for y'all. Appreciate the love. But let's just go ahead and get into it.
What's poppin', y'all? We need a medic. We need a medic because I think 50 Cent folded. I mean, we need Meek Mill on the side of the WWE yelling, "Get up," because T.I. might have put him to work. And this is so sad for me to see because 50 Cent, like, that's goated, right? We know him for beefing, and he's the one that started this whole beef. And so much has happened in the 16 hours after I finished recording and putting out the first video on this. So just quick refresher, this whole entire beef goes back decades, like in the 2000s, and it's because of 50 Cent. So 50 Cent called T.I. a rat. This was in 2007, 2008. So this is 20 years. And then, of course, and he also dragged Tiny into it back then. And then you get to their back and forth with the versus battle. And that was 2020. So things apparently got patched up during that time. And now we're here. And then 50 Cent got really disrespectful bringing Tiny into it, which, I'll show you guys that from the previous one. So we have all of that happening. And T.I.'s son, King, goes on a crazy rant at 50 Cent. Now, we know King, he's the biggest gangster in Atlanta. We don't know why he decided to be that, but he decided to be that. And he was stepping when it came to his mama and dissing 50 Cent's mother, who is dead.
Say something about my mama. Your mama dead as fuck. Your mama dead as fuck. Go dig her up. Go dig her up. Post a picture of your mama. Nigga, she dead. Nigga. Pay respect. Nigga. Stop playing with my mama. Nigga. Playing like that. Nigga. Going like that. Nigga. How y'all been raised? I'm not raised like that. I don't go. I'm not going about my mama. Nigga. I'm not going. Nigga. So tell your dead ass mama dig her ass up and post a picture that look better than my mama. Nigga. Fuck on with you, nigga. Y'all nigga tie y'all mama. Y'all nigga know who the fuck I fuck with. Nigga. You better put that music up and nigga, shut the fuck up, nigga. Cause all that other shit ain't gonna get it. On my mother. Your mama dead as fuck, nigga. Dig that bitch up. Not going. Nigga, not going. Now what the fuck you gonna do about that? Nigga, not going. I don't give a fuck how nigga dead. Nigga, not going. Nigga, posting my mama like your mama ain't dead as fuck. Go put some flowers on that bitch grave, nigga. Man, nigga, posting my mama, legend. Your mama, Jay, nigga. Stop, man. Don't never think you can get on this level and you can compete with us, nigga. We on a whole different ball game, nigga. We got a whole different type of level of respect around here, nigga. You get on that, do that big shit, nigga. I would say that shit to your face, nigga.
So since then,
I'll say this. I respect bro for having that energy for Mom Dukes because, some people just don't play about moms no matter who it is. So I can respect that. But we've seen how bro acts out. Like he really just be acting out. And, you know what I'm saying? It's that teenage, right? Well, he ain't a teenager, but he got a lot of energy. But let's be real. And you very well may try to slap 50 Cent if you see him in person. But just stop, bro. Don't nobody take you serious. All this vibrato, leave it to your father. You did your part, cool. Or even if you're doing the mean thing, fine. But all this tough guy talking shit stuff, stop, man. Just stop. It ain't happening. And even if it was to happen, it's not going how you think. I don't think 50 Cent was a Golden Glove boxer. Bro will fold you sideways and pause. The tough guy shit just not coming from you is not believable. Just stop, please.
T.I. has dropped a track. T.I. dropped like a snippet, and then he dropped a full track, and then he dropped a music video. I don't think the full music video came out. And then King also dropped a track. Now, I can't show you guys the King track because it is like copyright and the full track's not out, so the lyrics aren't all the way out yet. But King was spitting on this one. He posted it on his IG reel, and this gave me a reason to listen to King music. I wasn't listening to King music before this, but he's cooking on this track. People are feeling this track by King. But circling back to T.I. dropped the main track that T.I. dropped was The Right One. And then he would also flex in the music video for The Right One. And he says, my biggest flex is being able to protect my mama till I could provide her a better life. Happy birthday, mama. And I think this is a cold diss by T.I. because this all centers around family, right? Like, you got a tag team. And initially, I said, like, yo, this looks crazy that King is out here fighting T.I.'s battles. Come on, dog, that doesn't look too good on you. But T.I. hopped in. So they're doing like a tag team mission on 50 Cent. And 50 Cent's got kids, right? Well, the first kid he doesn't really acknowledge. And that's where I think T.I. kind of starts winning the dynamic. And I think they may have hit a soft spot for 50 Cent. Because in the track, we're going to look through a couple of lyrics from T.I.'s The Right One. And then he says, I'll walk up on him, knife son, think he Tyson. You ain't as tough as my son. So he's talking about his son. Ain't no fear here. I'm a king and you a duck. You got no peer here. And then he continues, and this is where I think he really digs into 50 and rallies the hip-hop fan base on his side, where he says, you take no issue with them white boys. It's only our people that you find to be an eyesore. Duck and smoke, you won't even stand up for his legacy. I guess it's because he ain't ish to fight for.
All right, so I'm going to be real with y'all, and me just personally. I haven't gotten to other videos to talk about this more, but perfect timing. If you've noticed, I guess you could say, well, so far that I know of, there could be more, but there's the T.I. and then there's Kendrick. If you notice, usually when there's beef, or it could be other matters, because it's beyond music, but typically what people try to do is when it's two black people, the one black person tries to throw the fact that the other black person is backed by white people and they view them different, that the black person hates their own people. I'm not gonna lie, to me that's corny because, and I was just having this talk yesterday with my homegirl. What I don't like about supposed pro-black people is white people are always the issue, even when they're not the issue. And that's not to take away from the history of what has happened in this country, America, but times is different. You know what I'm saying? Not all white people is the enemy. So let's break this down, right? Allegedly, I guess he's talking about 50 Cent doing business or whatever the case with, because I don't even see 50 in that light to not like his own people. Because as far as I'm concerned, his involvement with power, and people have been vocal about what 50 has done for them. Artists who have been locked up in jail said that 50's reached out and, 50 is very active and involved in his people, hip hop culture at that. It was supporting them and looking out for them and doing things and putting them on. You know what I'm saying? So this whole, the white boy thing, that's stupid. And another take is, what sense does that make? Because, and I could be wrong because I haven't been keeping up with this shit. If you have a company, and I'm speaking on T.I., right? If T.I.'s company, his record label, is doing business with or even owned by a major label, which is most likely a white corporation, are you not doing the same thing that he's doing? So what if 50 went and, he's a film producer or whatever, and then his company's, he's leveraging his legacy to go ahead and do business with Lionsgate, Stars, or whoever else. Because guess what? His family's taken care of. You know what I'm saying? But and again, T.I. had its whole TV show with, MTV? BT. Something TV. Either way, I'm pretty sure the people behind it was, yeah, you get what I'm saying? I'm just tired of this whole white people versus, like, can we let that shit go? That shit is tiring. We got to get rid of that shit. That's like saying black people can't be successful without the Illuminati. Oh, he's popular and successful because he sold his soul. Or a nigga just was really talented and figured out how to make this shit work. Not everything is about selling your soul to the devil, and not everything is the white guy this and white guy that, and that's why I got these. It's not that, man. That shit is ass. And I'm tired of hearing that. Over it.
And I think this is when he's talking about him ducking the versus battle, which that is a very, like, I think the depth of T.I.'s catalog is certainly better. And he has more music over a longer span of time than 50 Cent. But 50 Cent's hits were just global hits. But yeah, this is a thing that people, because 50 Cent, he kind of had certain takes on Trump. They feel like he doesn't really, when have you seen 50 Cent really beef with white people? Like Chelsea Handler had made some comments about 50 Cent, and they were dating at one point, and he came at her quite soft from how we've seen him come at women within the hip hop sphere as a whole. One of the bars on this track that I really liked was when he said, "Down here, we'll strip you out that ish, leave you with rabbit ears." Initially, I just thought it was him talking about Rabbit as in Rabbit from 50 Cent, 8 Mile, or Rabbit from 8 Mile, who is Eminem, who signed 50 Cent. But it could be like, stripping him out of his pocket. So I do think that's a cold bar by T.I. And then he hits a soft spot again and says, "You ain't that savage. You 5-0 dispatcher. Old tender D all mad because Puff let your B have it." And this was tender behavior by 50 Cent. Like, yes, 50 Cent capitalized. It was a great...
Hold on. So, I don't... See, here's the thing. This is my stance on this whole 50... I don't think 50 cares enough. Now, yeah, there may have been some things, like with the whole Diddy and his BM, that may have gotten to him, which is why he did the documentary. But all in all, I keep telling people, 50 is beyond rap. I had this discussion with my boy. I said, it comes a point in time where there's artists who have crossed that line who don't need to rap anymore. They don't need music like that. They've moved on to bigger and better things. Like, think about it. 50 does this back and forth this for this with T.I. A lot of people already think T.I. is the better rapper. Granted, cool, fine. But what gain does 50 get? He's not working on any music. T.I. has an album that's coming out. It benefits T.I. more. And then I even just posted on Facebook, I think the kids today don't care about rap beef the way my generation does. So I'm 35, right? These newer kids, 20-something, they don't care about all that, the beat bap raps and the type beats and beefing over those. They don't care about that. They're consumers of the memes, the reposts, the funny shit, and, the facts and data and drama. And that's how they get off. So rapping about it serves 50 no. I mean, for us, my generation, for sure. Like, of course, we want to see who sparring back and forth. But 50 has always been a chess player. And he may even know that him rapping against T.I. doesn't suit him. It doesn't benefit him. He probably knows he would lose that. So what are you going to do? You're going to outsmart a man. And one more thing. I like that someone left a comment and said, people forget about the 48 laws of power, right? And they were referencing the fact that staying ahead of your enemy is how you'll always win. And if I'm going to beat you, it's not going to be at your own game. I'm going to outsmart you. And I think 50 is typically outsmarting this. Now, again, I know y'all going to be like, well, it's an excuse and 50 can't rap. Another thing you got to remember is you can't tell a nigga how to participate. Even if he did start it. The way he started, he can also choose how he want to finish it. There ain't no rules to it. There's no rules to beef.
Great move for him to do the Diddy documentary. And he really, really put a nail in Diddy's reputation, because soon after the entire case, we had Diddy, and it was like, okay, Diddy was only convicted of the Mann Act, which is the transportation of the male prostitutes to engage with these chicks. There was no like kids, there's no underage stuff, there's nothing crazy that everybody associated with Diddy. But so soon after, 50 drops his documentary, and the association gets stuck back on him. For some reason, like, a lot of people think that Diddy did some like Epstein level stuff, which was not the case. Now, he was doing some weird stuff, some super freaked out stuff. Yes, certainly. But like causing harm. Now, yeah, the whole to women, he was not really doing that. And you could even see 50 Cent's own baby mama, Daphne. She was talking about, yo, when is the next time we're going to do this? And then he goes to talk about paperwork a little bit in the second verse where he says, I got paperwork from people in prison. Your name is in them. Peter Parker journalism. He's saying, I guess I'm Venom. Like, this is good raps, but frankly, I don't really care. I didn't really care too much about.
You see how he said he just care, he don't care, and I'm assuming he's a little bit younger than me, but as far as this beef, because it's been ongoing for over 20 years, right, 21 years, whatever. We've seen both sides, and even the whole paperwork rat thing with 50 has been exposed already. It's going to be new to people who ain't hip on the beef or 50's history, but it's just a bunch of old shit that's recircling. And I say that to say, for people like me who, or my generation or whatever, who already know what's going on, we don't care about that. It's like, it's already out there. We know about that. And this contradiction that I have a problem with, because 2 days ago, an older video, not that it surfaced, there was a YouTuber reacting to it, or was it Facebook? Anyway, I seen a video of T.I. in court talking to the judge, giving information about a murder that he's involved in, or some situation. And again, I'm not allegedly, right? I don't know much about it. I just came across the clip. I don't know the context, so I don't want to speak on it. But I'm just putting out there what I saw. And my point behind this is, you can't call 50 out for being a rat when you kind of may have been in a similar situation, allegedly. So that whole cop thing, like, that's the first thing niggas gonna go to in rap beef. Like, that's the thing too. Like, this whole rap beef is predictable. You either gonna say gay, because 50 had some dildo pictures or whatever. You're gonna say he a rat, which we've already, the paperwork, that's, what else are you gonna say? He hit women. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything is predictable about this beef. But because T.I. is a talented artist, he can make it entertaining. Because I ain't gonna lie, the first, he got like 3 disses out or something like that. And for me, 2 of them hit. 2 of them are hard as hell. And the one is like, it's all right for me. It's cool. But again, it's like, what are we going back and forth about facts that's already out there in the public that nobody cares about? If I was T.I., I would tread lightly, because I don't know, y'all, if y'all remember that situation with him trying to fight Mayweather, and it was something about Tiny, I think. Now, if 50 could have some information about that we ain't privy to, so, but hey, either way, it's too late.
50 Cent talking about T.I. telling. So I don't really care too much about T.I. going back at 50 Cent telling, to be honest, like, if we're keeping it a buck. And then he says, took losses from Rick Ross and Fat Joe. Remember that. He did take a fat L from Rick Ross in that lawsuit, because he was constantly like trying to make fun of Rick Ross's baby mama. Well, he leaked this like crazy footage of them, because these guys are still beefing, Rick Ross and 50 Cent. But Rick Ross's baby mama, she won that lawsuit for the stuff that 50 leaked. So he had to pay her out. And then Kanye stood up to...
Yeah, but does that mean 50 took an L from Rick Ross, or Rick Ross's BM, or I don't know.
And made his first week of defeat. And yes, after Ye beat him, that was Graduation versus Curtis in 2008. And I mean, like, if you're going to lose to anybody, you're at least losing to Graduation, right? Like, people have made it a meme, a line of he made Graduation.
I'm trying to be completely biased here, but if we're going to bring up facts, if I'm not mistaken, I think that year Nelly outsold T.I. as well. Niggas be getting outsold. It is what it is. But one thing that you can't take away from 50's catalog is, or his legacy, 50 Cent is arguably has the biggest, one of the biggest impact on hip hop culture through his music. That can't be denied.
So if you lose to that, you're like, yo, I lost to the best thing that's ever happened. So it is what it is. But 50 Cent was never the same after that. And I think it's because he attached a lot of his, not confidence, it's definitely not confidence, but a lot of his value as an artist to how successful he was commercially. And he's dropped music since then, but really, like after Curtis, even Curtis itself, we're not really paying attention to what's going on. And that whole thing signified a lot more than just, oh, the two biggest artists. It was, yo, this is the big gangster rapper era versus the pink polos, like fly guy, not necessarily backpack rap, but adjacent with those guys type of individual that was not the best. Well, at this point, Ye had two very successful albums. But yes, that's to sum that up. We're not going to deviate from 50 and T.I. And the thing with 50 is, and I think T.I. took this very, very respectfully in a way that King did not, which is, I think it's balanced for T.I. Like, he's celebrating his mother, he's celebrating his wife, and I gave T.I. credit for this in the past video. Like, what rappers have we seen that have stayed with their woman, and their woman hasn't left them either, and they haven't left her, and he hasn't embarrassed her, and she hasn't embarrassed him?
There's so many rumors flying around the relationship, and yes, they are just rumors, but I'll say this, and still a win is a win. Their relationship works if they're cool with each other sleeping with people outside of their partner, which is a rumor. Not confirmed, but it's a rumor. If he don't care who Tiny sleeps with, they're not going nowhere. If she don't care who T.I. sleep with, they're not going nowhere. Of course, they can keep the family together. And that's their job, to keep their family together.
For decades. Like, he was with Tiny for so long. And Tiny was an entertainer herself. So it's not even like he just took a, you know, like a quote unquote random chick off the street and brought her on. Tiny was successful in her own right. So she didn't even leave. We've had rappers pick up chicks off the side of the road and they get left by him. And that's not to say that the rappers did anything wrong or they deserve to be left, but to preserve a family unit and a marriage and to be that tight-knit is something exceedingly rare in not just hip-hop, but in celebrity culture in general. And T.I.'s done that. So him celebrating his mom, it's a diss at 50, but it's not, oh, your mama dead, you ain't got a family. And 50 Cent has tried to have that family. It's just that 50 Cent's not willing to compromise, at least with the first kid, right? Like the first kid, he just said screw him and screw his mama. So he forgot about that. But if you guys recall, 50 Cent was very, very close in the raising of his kid with Daphne Joy. And he was very close to that kid. And he was trying to make this whole family thing work with Daphne Joy. But what happened? Well, Daphne Joy comes out with Diddy, and that embarrassing, humiliating. T.I.'s never had to go through anything like that. Like, your enemy is dating your baby mama, who you were prancing around with. Like, he was taking photos of her on the beach. He was like, man, this is going to be, this is going to be the family that I wanted. And then he's very, very involved in that kid's life. And then she comes out as an S worker. And he tries to pretend like he's not hurt by it because he was calling her that first. But the truth is, he's hurt by it. Like, that's the mother of his kid. And even the original mother of his kid that he doesn't mess with, she was not getting rained on. She was not getting multiple dudes running through her, like with Diddy and with his enemy. None of that was going on. So it is very, very sad that this happened to 50 Cent, although some people will say that it's because, it's karma or whatever the case may be. But T.I. digging into this, I think this is a sore spot for 50 Cent. And on top of that, 50 Cent deleted everything. So it says here, 50 Cent has deleted every Instagram post related to the T.I. beef. Guess we ain't getting nothing from him anymore. And this is usually normal. 50 Cent will usually delete posts.
All right, real quick. So I'm late because I was out shoveling snow and chipping out ice yesterday and just other stuff. So I'm trying to get caught up to everything with these videos. But as of today, if I'm not mistaken, I think 50 Cent from his account has posted that, what did he say? He said Oh, I gotta pull it up. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull it up. All right. I can't find it. I'm struggling here. But I believe it was something like no rappers, no BBLs, and no fucked up albino kids. Basically, he's saying that the Broadway thing that he got going on is sold out. That's what he put today. So again, this video is not fresh. This is like a few days old at this point, maybe a week. But that tweet that I was just talking about, that's new. That dropped earlier today. I don't think 50's too bothered about what's going on. Just saying.
Like a day after or 2 days after, but he left this TI thing up for many, many days. So that's out of the norm. So it's not just normal. Oh yeah, he always deletes. Not in this type of way. And even in his comment section, they're cooking him. Like he just posted something about governor talking about 50 Cent's investments, and it's in Shreveport, Louisiana, which he's doing incredible stuff over there, building up this whole like production unit. But you look at his responses, and it's just TI quotes, people saying deleted posts tells me all I need to know. You take that L, boy. You got out trolled. Stop bullying women. Why are you posting and deleting? And they're just flaming him across like all of his posts. They're saying he's raising the white flag. And initially, right now, he's kind of got a rap, but for my sake.
Hold on. Okay. Because I was about to say, I'm going to let him finish.
Protect the legacy of 50 Cent.
Man, see that, but that's the thing though. When y'all say that, and no disrespect to bro, but the thing, what people don't understand, what you want is what you want, but that doesn't mean the people you want it from have to follow suit. And what legacy may mean to them means completely something different to you and I, right? That's like with Tank or Tyson. Fans are mad because these guys fought a Jake Paul, someone that's not a quote unquote professional boxer. And they're like, oh, it's tarnishing his legacy and this or that, or Tank won't fight this person, that. You got to understand, Tank has made his money. He's taking care of his kids or whatever he got going on. Tank good. And he didn't need a professional belt to do it. Tank is good. His legacy is solidified. If he don't want to box ever again, he don't have to. And I think what people don't understand, because the fans rather, it's like the child Disney stars. Like sometimes people don't let childhood Disney stars grow up from that character. They're not the little kid anymore. They're a whole grown adult that has moved on from Nickelodeon, whatever have you. Like Nick Cannon, you can't still expect the nigga to be the slime kid or whatever. Or the dude's a business mogul, you know what I'm saying, doing his damn thing. We can't keep talking about what legacy is because of what we want from somebody. We have to just respect legacy to the motherfucker that's building their legacy is just that. It's their legacy, and they can choose what to do with it. If they don't put out rap music, boo-hoo. What you gonna do? You gonna stop buying music? Oh, don't matter. That's exactly why. See, real quick, last thing. I think in boxing, they said it best, or at least this was a thought of mine. I don't think someone should fight their whole life because people want you to. Because the minute you lose a fight, the world don't give a fuck about you anymore. You're not the face of boxing anymore. They don't care anymore. And it's sad because for black fighters, one loss will do that. Tank got his first draw ever, as if he ain't been knocking niggas out for the past 10 years. First draw ever. Now all of a sudden, they're questioning his ability and they ain't rocking with him no more. Shakur wins one actual good fight, and now Shakur this, Shakur that, Shakur this, fight Shakur that. Tank can't beat Shakur. But last week it was Shakur couldn't touch Tank. So I say that to say, fuck what you think legacy is, because niggas is too wishy-washy anyway. Fans ain't loyal for real. When you step out of what a fan want, they're not loyal. They're not loyal anymore. Fuck that. Build your own legacy. Do what works for you and yours. As long as your family good, fuck what everybody else say. Because they ain't taking care of your family.
I think 50 Cent needs to stand down. I do not want to hear 50 Cent in the booth. I do not want to hear 50 Cent drop a song. And the last songs that 50 Cent dropped were some heaters. Well, I don't know if he's dropped since then, but if you guys remember Romeo and Juliet with Chris Brown, fire song. And also he did a song with Post Malone. That was a fire song too, but that was like 10 years ago. But that had already been like a 6-year break from when 50 Cent was making music. And he came back with damn near 2 hits off of that. I would just like that to be the last memory that I have of 50 Cent's musical career. T.I. is rapping his behind off right now. I didn't even know this, but T.I.'s got a hit song right now. Like, he's got that song, Let Him Know. Why didn't y'all tell me that? Why did nobody message me about that? Nobody DM me about that. They're like, yo, this new T.I. track with Pharrell is banging. Nobody.
First of all, Pharrell's a fucking GOAT. Anything that nigga touches gold. That Let Him Know song is dope though. Y'all go check it out.
None of you guys could do me that solid? But yeah, like Let Him Know by T.I., who T.I. has been in the game. Like I said, the depth of the catalog of T.I. is deeper than 50 Cent's, pause. But this one's at number 43 on the Hot 100 after debuting at number 83. So it's just been climbing up the charts. The song is fire. And T.I. is kind of scheduling this whole comeback. He's dropping a comeback album. He cut off the braids. He's going back to the original look. And this is also a beautiful thing, too, because the age factor in hip-hop is dying out. Like, usually, if this was 2017, 2018, when all these teeny boppers were running, and I say that like I wasn't a teeny bopper at that time. But yeah, like these teeny boppers were running it, but I didn't have that mentality. And they're like, man, this person's old. This person's like 35 rapping. This person's old. People don't care about that. 2 Chainz was holding down that torch a lot. But seeing T.I. get a hit, that just goes to show like all these other rappers that were trying to throw the towel in, you guys could come back too. You guys could catch yourself a hit as well. I mean, and this was like Empire. It was T.I.'s label, distributed by Empire. So I don't even think this was on a major.
What did I say earlier? Distributed by Empire. Look up who owns Empire. Or look up the company Empire. I'll just say it like that.
But I mean, Empire's got some good resources. And like the production on here by Pharrell is solid too. So altogether, T.I. I think he's taking the win here. The problem is with the level of disrespect that King issued to 50 Cent. 50 Cent may fold and he may take the L on this battle, but just believe, like, this is something that he is never going to forget. Ever. Like, he will, any opportunity that comes to mind, he will try and destroy. Not T.I. I don't think he could really do that. But King in particular. But I mean, King's got, T.I., his father, holding him down. So this, I think this is great for music because we're getting good music from T.I. Initially, I was like, I don't even know if I want to hear T.I. drop. But T.I.'s dropped some fire. The diss track is fire. Music video didn't drop yet either. King's track, the preview at least, is hard. And the T.I. track that he's got that has nothing to do with 50 Cent right now is booming, and that song is fire. So this got me wanting to really check out the T.I. album too. So this was masterful work by T.I. 50 Cent, do not get in the booth. I don't think 50 Cent can, he can't battle. And this T.I. also circled it back to the original point that he had, which was he wanted a verses. He was just talking about verses. He was just talking about music. And then 50 Cent decides to get really disrespectful, talking about him telling and all of that. And T.I. kept trying to hold himself back. And what does he do? He shows great maturity, but he brings it back to music. He's like, okay, this guy doesn't want to give me competition in a verses. How about I drop a track? Especially after he got crazy disrespectful with my wife. And he's cooking. So T.I., hold this big, fat W. This is great. Thank you for serving us. Like, you're giving us great music to enjoy, especially this. Not even late into your career doesn't even count because it doesn't even feel like there's an end to careers anymore, which is great, man. Like the ageism in hip hop, I really, really did not enjoy it. Well, let me know what y'all.
I still think there is ageism in hip hop. Maybe it's slowed down a little bit, but there's definitely still ageism in hip hop. I hear it all the time. So, but I'm just one person. Again, with this whole beef though, I really don't think 50's taking this serious. I don't think there's anything he can lose from this. You know, I think honestly, I think T.I. has more to lose because he is putting out an album. He is still musically active. I keep telling people this is what's going to happen. Even if 50 does make a song and it's a really good clapback, what benefit does it gain 50? Yeah, a couple streams here and there, cool, whatever. His catalog still gets licensed in video games and movies. So he good on that part. But what win does he gain from making a better song than T.I.? I'm gonna tell you this, because also if he doesn't respond, he's gonna go right back to what he's doing. And I just went on his Instagram when I was looking for that information. He has the star shit jumping off. He's got I think Dr. Cheyenne Bryant has said that 50's publishing company has helped her book to go #1. So he has his hands in other endeavors, which he should because he's an older rapper. And the whole gangster rap thing don't suit him anymore because we know that's not who he is anymore. You know what I'm saying? He's a businessman. And he can make soundtrack music, which in my personal opinion, the Power soundtrack, fire. Production's always going to be fire. And that's why I'm saying I don't want to hear this, I don't want 50 in the studio. We ain't got to hear him in the beef, but I like the Power soundtrack. That shit fire. The one with him and, is it Avant or Joe? That's fire. The original one, you know, the first Ghost Power Force soundtrack fire. Him and Jeremiah. The one with Kanan, that's fire. Production, everything. And it's got him and NLE Chopper in there, if I believe. So 50's still making music and he's doing it for what he wants to make it for. Last thing I'm going to say and wrap this up. Damn, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, well, I'm going to go ahead and end the video. I will keep putting out more videos as I come across them because snow's getting ready to melt. I'll make more time to go ahead and pump this content out when I find it and come across it. So y'all stay tuned, stay locked in. Make sure y'all subscribed, and I'm going to catch you on the next one.